This is Justice Now, and you've reached part 11 of the series Tips for Black Workers. So this particular video will be entitled, All Eyes and Ears Are on You. I made an earlier video today, and unfortunately the upload had failed, so this is my second attempt at setting up this video again and hoping that it will load correctly. So what do I mean by all eyes and ears are on you? Whenever you are in the workplace, keep in mind that you are constantly being watched, constantly being listened to, and constantly being studied. Anything that you say, anything that you do are being recorded by people in some form or fashion. Sometimes there will actually be audio recordings that will be put into place or video recordings that are actually on site to monitor what you say and do, whether you are aware of it or not. So you need to be very, very cognizant of the fact that what you say and what you do matter, and whatever you say in private, you want to make sure that you're able to say that same thing in public, because that's often what's going to happen. Whatever you say in private, because there's no secrets in the workplace. There's absolutely none. What you say to one person, what comes out of your mouth from to one person will guaranteed be spread, regardless if it gets back to you or not. Oftentimes when I'm in the workplace, I'll often observe my black colleagues sharing information that they shouldn't be sharing. So I'll give you an example. I heard one of the colleagues asking one of my black colleagues, "How was your weekend?" And the black colleague mentioned, "Oh, it was great. I had fun with my boyfriend and went to a club, got turned up, and it was lit. And then we went and we smoked a little herb, and we went back to my place and chilled and had a good time." Now, in my mind, I was thinking, oh boy, this person has shared way too much. There's other times where, you would get another, "How was your weekend?" question. And other people say, "Oh, I went on a 2-day trip out of the country to Las Vegas. It was fun and I came back." These are some of the information that you do not need to share. And the reason why is because they will be used as ammunition against you, especially when it comes to times of promotion and pay raise. When it comes time to obtain a special assignment or task, you need to be very aware of how your information, which seems like if it's just everyday talk that you're talking with your friends, will seem rather innocent, and it's really nothing to really consider, but can be used as a tool to block you from certain opportunities. So let's look at the first example. That same colleague who received the information can go to the higher ups and say, "Well, I'll just use Justice Now for example. Justice Now is not really qualified to take on a leadership role because, just this past weekend she disclosed that her and her boyfriend went out on a club, which is great, but then, they drank too much and they were smoking drugs. And I don't know if you really want that type of leadership for your company." They'll say things like that. And then next thing you know, you're blocked. You're blocked from a promotion, or you're blocked from a special assignment in which you could be recognized for your efforts in contribution to the company. So that's one of the ways that this can occur. Keep in mind, um, again, there's no secrets in the company. There is none. So a, um, if you feel a way that is negative towards a colleague or a manager, do not share that with any other colleague at all, because again, you do not know what they will use that information for. I'll give you another example. At my other workplace, um, again, this was two colleagues, one who was a black colleague, the other who was a white colleague. And the black colleague had shared how they felt that they didn't feel comfortable being in the position because, um, they felt that this particular manager was constantly on their back for any little thing. And the white colleague was, appearing to be supportive, saying, "Oh, hey, don't worry about it. It's not too bad. You shouldn't take it on too much, and just do your job and do the best that you can." So they were appearing supportive. Next thing you know, I'm walking down the corridor, and who do I see? The white colleague talking to the manager about the conversation they just had with the black colleague, about the black colleague feeling that the manager is just being too much with them. You see how that works? Again, do not share information that you don't really need to share. All eyes on you. You are being monitored for what you wear. So how you dress, your hairstyle, your colors of choice. It is surprising just how much we are spied upon. Um, to some degree, you could be even monitored to what type of routes you take to work, where you go to purchase items, things of that nature. So limit the information that you share as to, what stores you go to in terms of grocery stores, in terms of any venue or location you go to. Limit that because the information is being gathered to then get a profile on you. It's called gathering intelligence, right? Most people think, oh, this is just for espionage or this is just used for military strategies. Yeah, these strategies are also used in the workplace. It's called gathering intelligence. So they'll fish around for information. They'll find out how you walk. What they will even smell you. They'll even smell you. I've gotten, and I'm pretty sure that many black workers have gotten the, "Oh, you smell so good. Where did you get that cologne from? Or what's the name of that cologne? Oh, you smell good." It's very weird. Um, there was another situation where I would leave my bag in the car, and because I don't want to carry any any stuff with me when I'm going into work. And one colleague asked me, "Oh, why don't you carry your bag inside? Why do you keep leaving it in the car?" I, Again, all eyes are on you, all ears are on you. Make sure that if you're going to say something, be able to, and I think I've mentioned this already, but it warrants another mention. Make sure that whatever you say in private, that you are willing to say in public because you're being recorded. Literally and through memory of the person who's asking you these questions. Um, uh, you know, uh, how what you eat is also being monitored as well. Uh, your body size is being monitored. Everything about you literally is being monitored. I cannot stress this enough. Um, so just be very cognizant of how you conduct yourself. Um, keep your responses neutral. That's the best way to counter it, is to keep your responses very neutral, um, so that So that if asked, did a certain situation come up, for optics' sake, and for those who are listening close by, they can always say, "Well, Justice now said XYZ," and that it was very neutral. So do it that way. Some may accuse you of being sneaky by doing this. I know I've been accused at the last hostile workplace of being sneaky, by, limiting my information, um, and by being very aware that I'm being monitored at each time, so they couldn't catch me off guard that way. Um, and that has helped me. When you recognize the situation for what it is, it's when you're in the workplace, it's active competition. It's active competition for resources and for power and perks. And anything that you say and do can be weaponized. Any political insights that you have, you don't need to share them at work. One of the things that I hear a lot is, talk about racism. You know, I mean, these are really fishing tools to find out more about how you think and who you are and what you do, so that they can find out what makes you tick, what makes you happy, what makes you sad, what makes you angry. Again, this is developing an ongoing profile for intelligence about you. Um, the more that you keep this in mind, the better you are able to conduct yourself. Because if you stay around certain colleagues long enough, you'll recognize there are certain colleagues that seem to know all this information about you, and you've never spoken to them. And then you wonder, how did that happen? Why? It's because people talk. So be very, very aware of that. So that is, I believe, part 11. All eyes are on you, and all ears are on you. Be very, very aware. And, just keep in mind that, you know, when you're being um, spied upon so much, this is really a threat, right? It's a subtle threat. Um, and you might be wondering, okay, well, how so? It's a subtle threat in that it lets you know that you have no privacy, right? Part of autonomy, a part of independence, in having some degree of privacy. So when you have people coming up to you out of the blue that you've never really spoken to, that you've never really met, they're subtly letting you know, we know about you. We can keep tabs on you. We can keep eyes on you. We have all ears on you. And that is very unsettling. It's very unsettling to the degree of how we do not have privacy. So if you have anything to say about anybody in the workplace, take it outside. Let your friends and family know. Um, you know, or if you're leaving a comment, just as long as you leave the names out, um, then you you mention that in a post. But don't mention the company name. Don't mention the workers' names, things of that nature. Um, so comment, like and subscribe. Share your experiences and share your tips on how you protect yourself, um, because you are being spied upon excessively. And it is a subtle threat to let you know that you have no privacy. And stay tuned for the next video.